At the beginning of the story, we see a woman named Romy, who is 50 years old and the CEO of a robotic automation company. Romy is an influential, independent, and successful woman. She is married to a famous theater director, and they also have 2 daughters. But Romy's married life is not going well because her husband is unable to satisfy her in bed. It isn't that there is anything wrong with her husband. Rather, Romy's physical needs are much higher, and she never felt fulfilled. Because of this, Romy often remained unhappy. One day, while Romy is walking to her office, a dog suddenly runs toward her, ready to attack. Romy becomes very frightened. But then, a young man calls the dog over to him, calms it down, and gains control. In this way, he saves Romy. After this, Romy reaches her office. Her assistant brings in some new interns to meet her. Among them is the same young man who had saved her from the dog. His name is Samuel, and he is 23 years old. He is young, attractive, and confident. Both of them recognize each other. Romy notices that Samuel's energy is different from the other interns. He doesn't hesitate at all and confidently asks questions right in front of her. Later, during a break, Romy asks Samuel, "How did you call that dog to you and calm it down?" Samuel replies, "I had a cookie with me. I gave it to the dog and brought it under control." That night, Romy is in bed with her husband, but once again, he fails to please her. Because of this, Romy has to turn to videos to satisfy her needs. The next day, Romy attends a party at the office with her husband. Many people are there, enjoying themselves. Romy steps out to the balcony to smoke. At that moment, Samuel comes to her and says, "I chose you as my mentor in the company's mentorship program." But Romy doesn't know anything about this, so she remains silent. After this, when Romy returns to the party, her husband asks her to dance. But Romy doesn't dance. Instead, she goes to the side and watches Samuel dancing with another girl. Samuel is dancing freely without any worries. In the middle of it, his tie comes loose and falls to the floor. Meanwhile, Romy keeps staring at him without blinking. The next day, when Romy reaches the office, she sees Samuel's tie lying on the ground. She picks it up and takes it into her cabin. Then she smells the tie and even kisses it, as if she is becoming attracted to Samuel. After this, Romy begins taking skin treatments and therapy to make herself look young and beautiful. The next day, when Romy takes the elevator to her cabin, she meets Samuel inside. Samuel says, "As part of the mentorship program, I need to talk to you for 10 minutes. But Romy replies, "I don't have that much time," and walks away. However, Romy's assistant convinces her to meet Samuel, saying that it will help her understand people better and also benefit the company. So, Romy holds a meeting with Samuel. She says, "You only have 7 minutes. Quickly ask your question." Samuel questions one of Romy's decisions. This is the first time any employee has spoken to her like this. Romy finds it strange, but somewhere inside, she is impressed. When Romy, in anger, is about to leave, Samuel stops her and comes closer to her. Samuel leans forward to kiss Romy. Seeing this, Romy also kisses him, but then she realizes this is wrong. She says, "This shouldn't happen," and walks away. After this, Romy decides to keep herself away from Samuel. But it wasn't so easy for her, because her husband still couldn't give her the physical pleasure that fully satisfied her. That's why Romy had become completely attracted to Samuel. When Romy is in the office, Samuel tells her, "We need to have a meeting this week, since I chose you as my mentor, and it's the company rule." But Romy wants to keep her distance from him, so she only replies, "I'll see." At night, Romy goes to a party with her office colleagues. Samuel is also there, constantly looking at her. The two of them begin staring at each other. A little later, Romy remembers some urgent office work. So she leaves the party and goes back to the office. When she enters her cabin, she finds a note on the table. On it are written a hotel's name, a number, and a time. The next day, Romy goes to that hotel. When she enters the room, Samuel comes in. Romy says, "This is wrong. We shouldn't be meeting like this. Whatever is happening, it needs to stop." Samuel smiles and asks her, "Then why did you come here?" Romy has no answer. With hesitation, she says, "You are young, and I don't want to take advantage of you. But Samuel confidently replies, right now, I'm the one with the power. If I tell anyone about us, you'll be thrown out of the company. His dominant attitude appeals to Romy. Samuel then asks, have you ever thought about giving control to someone else? Romy softly replies, no, I've always been in control. Samuel smiles lightly and says, I don't think so. He begins to come closer to her. Romy tries to stop him, but Samuel quietly says, stay calm. Then he tells her to take off her clothes. Romy refuses. At that moment, Samuel commands her, get down on your hands and knees like a dog. Romy obeys and does exactly that. Samuel then takes a piece of chocolate in his hand and tells her to eat it. Romy slowly moves forward, bends down like a dog, and picks up the chocolate with her mouth. Samuel strokes her back, and then he makes love to her. After this, the two of them become close. For the first time, Romy feels completely satisfied and very happy. From here, a new relationship begins between them, one based on passion and the balance of power. Romy's physical needs, which her husband could never fulfill, were now being fulfilled by Samuel. But in Romy's mind, the thought remained that she was Samuel's boss, and that Samuel was much younger than her. She was also a married woman with children. Even so, Romy ignores all of this and continues to meet Samuel. They meet in the office, in hotels, and at different places, becoming intimate with each other. Slowly, Romy's body language begins to change. She now appears more relaxed and carefree. One day, when Romy returns home, she is stunned to see Samuel inside, talking with her daughter and her husband. Romy goes to him, and Samuel lies to her, saying, you forgot your laptop at the office, so I came to return it. Romy, angry, takes him out of her car to drop him off. Inside the car, she scolds Samuel. She tells him, my family is everything to me. Never come to my house again. Romy tells him, we should end this relationship. I don't want anyone to find out about us. But Samuel becomes angry, and the two start arguing. In his anger, Samuel gets out of the car and walks away. The next day, Samuel messages Romy and calls her to the office rooftop. He tells her, if you want us to end this relationship, then I'll request a transfer to another department. Romy objects to this because she fears that it will raise questions about her. If people in the company found out about their relationship, Romy would be removed from her position. That night, Romy lies in bed, deeply stressed, thinking about all of this. When her husband tries to make love to her, she becomes angry and takes out all of her frustration on him. She walks out of the room. Frustrated, Romy goes to a bar where Samuel works part-time. Romy tries to talk to him, but he doesn't speak to her. The next day, Romy's husband asks her about the previous night. She replies that she said those things in anger. Then Romy gets ready and leaves for the office. There, she meets Samuel and tells him, I want to continue my relationship with you. Samuel says, if that's what you want, then you'll have to obey everything I say. At first, Romy hesitates, but after Samuel insists, she agrees. From then on, Samuel begins to control her. He takes Romy to a hotel and tells her, take off your clothes. Romy obeys him and does as he says. Samuel tells her, you are very beautiful, and then the two of them become close. From here, their relationship takes a new turn. Samuel becomes the dominant one, and Romy becomes completely submissive to him. The two of them seem very happy together. One day, Romy's daughter's birthday party is happening at their house. Just then, the doorbell rings. Romy opens the door and sees her assistant, whom she had invited to the party. But the assistant has also brought Samuel with her. In fact, Samuel and Romy's assistant were dating each other. Romy tries to appear calm on the outside, but inside she feels extremely uncomfortable. She quickly messages Samuel, calling him into the kitchen, and vents her anger at him. Romy says, I can't see you with anyone else. You can't date another girl. You are only mine. Just then, Romy's assistant enters the kitchen. Romy immediately goes quiet, and Samuel walks out of the kitchen with the assistant. The next day, Romy calls her assistant into her cabin at the office. She tells her, you cannot date an intern because you're senior to him. If you do this, your promotion could be stopped. The following day, Romy's assistant comes to her house. She tells Romy, "I know everything about your relationship with Samuel." She directly says, "I want you to break up with Samuel and give me the promotion that was supposed to be mine." The assistant tells her, "You are a role model for women. You have achieved so much in your life. Don't ruin everything by making such a mistake." Saying this, the assistant leaves. Romy becomes very stressed. She doesn't understand what to do. When Romy's husband comes home, she tells him, "Since childhood, I have had strange thoughts. I wanted to fulfill my fantasies, but you were never interested in them. I had physical needs, but you couldn't fulfill them. Because of this, wrong thoughts came into my mind. I tried hard to stop them, but I couldn't. Then I met a boy, and I did everything with him." Hearing this, her husband breaks down inside. He asks, "Do I know him?" Romy lies and says, "No, he was a stranger." Romy's husband is filled with anger. Romy tries to explain and says, "I love only you." But her husband shouts, "You betrayed me. You didn't even think once about the children." He tells Romy to leave the house. Crying, Romy leaves and goes to live in another house. At night, Romy sees Samuel bathing in the pool. She comes to him and says, "You should leave from here." But Samuel pulls her into the water, and then the two come close to each other. After this, they're inside the house. Suddenly, Romy's husband arrives. Seeing Romy and Samuel together, he becomes furious. He tries to take Romy away from there, but Samuel steps in, and a fight begins between the two. Romy comes in between and tries to calm them both. Romy's husband tells Samuel, "My wife used you for her fantasies." But Samuel says, "That's not true." Just then, Romy's husband has a panic attack. Seeing this, Samuel steps forward to help him. At that moment, Samuel realizes that he was wrong. He apologizes to Romy's husband and leaves from there. Romy's husband also leaves. Meanwhile, Romy stays alone in her other house. A few days later, her daughter comes to her and says, "Since you left, he is staying at the theater, and he has even stopped eating and drinking. He needs you, Mom. Please come back home. He will forgive you." Romy listens to her daughter and goes to her husband's theater. When she sees him, she starts crying and apologizes for her mistakes. Her husband stays silent for a while, then hugs her. A few days later, Romy is at the office. A board member comes to her and says, "Samuel has gone to Japan and is working there now. Do you have anything to do with his leaving?" Romy doesn't say anything. Then he says to her, "I'm alone at home today. You can come over." Romy understands that he knows about her and Samuel and now wants to take advantage of it. But Romy clearly tells him, "I'm not afraid of you. Leave from here." After this, Romy is in bed with her husband. He is trying his best to satisfy her according to her fantasies, and Romy is really enjoying it. And with this, the movie ends. Friends, if you were in Romy's husband's place, would you forgive her?